Football hasn't always been about mega money transfers and eye-watering salaries. The first player on record to ever be transferred for a fee was Willie Groves in 1893. The Scottish striker made the switch from West Bromwich Albion to Aston Villa for a fee of just £100, although that's roughly £13,000 or 18,000 US dollars in today's money. Prior to his move and the formation of the Football League, players could pick and choose which clubs they played for on a seasonal basis. Once clubs were given the power to demand a fee for a player's contract though, prices began to rocket. It took 30 years for the first £5,000 transfer to the first £50,000 transfer, and then just 15 years to hit £500,000. Then, in 1975, as the world record fee was approaching the million mark, Napoli signed Giuseppe Savoldi from Bologna for £1.2 million. Transfer fees would continue to rise exponentially. Diego Maradona soon became the first player in football history to set the world record transfer fee twice. Barcelona paid a then record £5 million to sign him, before offloading him to Napoli for another record fee of £6.9 million 2 years later. Jean-Pierre Papin then became the first £10 million player in 1992, joining AC Milan from Marseille, though, as before, his title as the world's most expensive player would not last for long. A young Ronaldo demanded two record fees in 96 and 97, either side of Alan Shearer's world record £15 million switch to Newcastle United. Real Madrid's Galácticos era took football transfers into uncharted waters by breaking the record 5 times, with Luis Figo, Zinedine Zidane, Kaká, Cristiano Ronaldo, and finally Gareth Bale making the move to the Bernabeu. Madrid had a stranglehold on the market, and it was widely accepted that they could have any player that they wanted. They were kings of the transfer market. That was until Manchester United splashed a whopping £89 million to secure the return of Paul Pogba in 2016. With transfers now inflated well into the €100 million bracket, many predicted a collapse. Neymar's colossal transfer from Barcelona to Paris Saint-Germain only made matters worse. At £198 million, or €222 million, the Brazilian shattered the record transfer fee. The numbers were staggering, even more so when you consider the arrival of Kylian Mbappe for a further £158 million to partner Neymar in the PSG attack. Paris Saint-Germain, backed by the Qatar Sports Investments, suddenly had two of the world's most expensive players leading their line. It cost them over £350 million for the privilege. The money would naturally see prices for players across Europe hike. Barcelona had to part with £140 million for Ousmane Dembele, £105 million with add-ons for Philippe Coutinho, and £107 million for Antoine Griezmann. Liverpool were forced to pay almost £70 million for Alisson in 2018, a world record fee for a goalkeeper at the time, but it would take just 2 weeks for that to be eclipsed, with Kepa's £72 million move to Chelsea quickly following. Spending was spiralling out of control. Something eventually had to burst the aggressive growth in transfer fees. And it did, though not how many had expected. Football had been thrown into disarray by the coronavirus outbreak in 2020, and clubs across the world faced severe financial consequences. As well as the immediate loss in revenue in line with the suspension of the game, their star assets are now worth a fraction of what they were previously. Talks of Kylian Mbappe leaving PSG for Real Madrid for £300 million, mooted a matter of months ago, now seems nonsensical. The likes of Harry Kane and Jadon Sancho could be available for far less than what was previously being suggested at the start of the season. PSG will struggle to recoup the money they laid out for Neymar should they ever want to sell. But have we really seen the end of game's absurd spending? Will Neymar's world record transfer fee ever be beaten? And will clubs even survive the dramatic drop in revenue to see a post-coronavirus market? While the world waits to see how a post-COVID era looks, financial experts are certain of only one thing: football has forever been transformed by the global pandemic.